Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to show you a little more in-depth version of a concept I recently uploaded onto my YouTube channel. This concept was about making large quantities of wood in a relatively small space using Nether Huge Fungi. The completed project is what we have here in front of our eyes. But before we go ahead and take a look at how to build it, I wanted to show it to you in action. So here is a lever, and when I turn this on, you should start seeing this big red mass in front moving towards us, like it just did. And now again. So, let's move on to another world and see how this works, why this works, and how to build it. So first, let me go back to the basics of huge fungi. Huge fungi are a specific version of trees which grow in the Nether, but can be grown in the other dimensions as well. In order to grow huge fungi, you need nylium. Nylium is a block that only appears naturally in the Nether and can spread to neighboring netherrack by using bonemeal, like so. So if you use bonemeal on a netherrack block that is basically in the touching perimeter or diagonally touching perimeter around a nylium block, the nylium of that color, here crimson, will spread to the netherrack block. And it would work the same with this cyan nylium as well. However, nylium doesn't cross-contaminate. So if I bone meal this crimson nylium, it won't turn into cyan. But as you can see, when I bone meal nylium, a variety of things appear onto the nylium blocks, such as this, which is a fungus. When these fungi are bone mealed, they in turn will become huge fungi, like this. Now these huge fungi have a bunch of very interesting specific characteristics. The main of those characteristics is that they can grow in very tight space. They can grow basically anywhere, provided they have just this nylium block and a fungus here. For example, to grow a tree, you'd need to have at least, imagine this is dirt and this is a sapling, you would need to have at least a 5 by 5 perimeter around the sapling for the sapling to grow. However, this is not true with nylium and with huge fungi, which will grow in even this, encased like this. See? It grew without problem. It could even grow in under this, where there is literally no place for the stem to grow. It grows no problem. It just doesn't have a stem because, well, there's no stem to grow. And as you can see, there's another interesting thing. Here, these concrete blocks that we had from the start are intact. They weren't replaced with blocks from the huge fungus. Now, this doesn't stand true for all types of blocks. For example, this glass block here was replaced. These two pistons here were replaced by netherwart. So basically what that means is that nether huge fungi replace all non-solid blocks with their own blocks when they grow, but leave alone solid blocks. And this is what we are going to use today to make our farm, because these wood blocks here, well, they're solid, which means if I place a fungus here and if I grow it, none of these blocks will have been replaced. The wood is intact. So for example, instead of having one single fungus grow like this, why not have an entire row of fungi? Here. For very little effort and with very little space used, I have a lot more wood ready to be collected. And this is exactly what we're going to do in our farm today. So how are we going to proceed? Well, basically what we're going to have at the basis of our farm is an iron block, which will be bone mealed from underneath until it grows a fungus, and then we'll have another dispenser here which will bone meal this fungus to make it a huge fungus. Then we'll have a piston behind this here, a sticky piston, of course, and another set of sticky pistons above that, which will push the wood. This is at the core the idea behind this farm. However, there's a little something that we need to take care of. It's these pistons here. As we could see here, pistons do get replaced by fungi blocks when fungi grow. However, slime and honey blocks, well, they don't get replaced. So what we're gonna do is use this aspect of slime and honey blocks to create or to extend our pushing pistons far enough that they do not get turned into mushroom blocks when the mushroom grow. So basically we're gonna have something like, sorry, I went one block too far. It's something like this. And here another one. Okay, so that's the basis of what is going to be our farm, and that's what is behind these blocks here. However, there is a little something that we need to take care of. In my initial concept, I built it like this. Exactly like this. But the problem is that it can become unstable once pushing limit is reached on either of these pistons. The reason why it becomes unstable is that, well, if push limit is not reached, they're both perfectly in sync, but the instant push limit is reached on either side, what's going to happen is that this portion here is going to move forward because there is nothing to block it in front. But then, once it moves forward, we get into this situation. And of course, when these honey blocks get pulled back by the sticky piston, this entire line of blocks are going to get pulled back along with the honey blocks, which will destroy the system. Let's just see it in action. See? Here. The piston was pulled back, the redstone was destroyed, and the system is not working, is not functional anymore. So in order to correct that problem, I devised the following solution. Here we have obsidian blocks, which can't be pushed or pulled, and thus can't be pulled back if this situation arises. Even if this happens, this will never be able to pull back this and destroy the contraption. And in order to trigger the pistons, well, we are going to use observers and sticky pistons. So here what happens is that it's just stuck. And the instant I remove the blocks that prevent this from moving, it self-repairs. So this is basically exactly what we have here. We have our obsidian blocks, the observers. Here we have the dispensers, which will bone meal the fungi into becoming huge fungi, and these are also used to push forward the lowest block of the stem. Here we have our bone meal to make the fungi appear onto these blocks. What can happen sometimes is that if a block stays too long over, has just happened here, over a nylium block, the nylium will revert back to netherrack. But these will continuously send bone meal onto these blocks, so again this will self-repair. These blocks here on the sides are security nylium blocks, in case all the nylium here would turn into netherrack, because with only these two blocks we can fairly quickly retrieve an entire row of nylium, as you will see in a second. So let's just see it in action again from scratch, and that should be it for this video. Okay, so let me turn the lever on. See, all the nylium is back. These fire bone meal onto the nylium, which makes fungi appear. Oh, sorry, these ones on the bottom, and these ones make the fungi become huge fungi. And that's basically it. If you dig underneath this layer of netherwart, you'll start seeing your wood appear. So, well, that's it for today. I hope you like this video and this contraption and will find some uses for it or some ideas to make it better. Don't hesitate to share your ideas and your comments and your questions in the comment section. And I hope to see you again in another video. Bye!